Hey there, Nightwize here. The kids decided on their brilliant plan to cross a desert with no water, but conveniently found an oasis filled with pink stuff under attack by the Human Torch. The digital Chris Evans was understandably peeved about the weird black gear lodged in his chest, but Biyomon digivolved, destroyed the gear, and sent him back to slave away as the mountain's guardian.
The Digivolution is up and running. Did you see? Did you hear? Did you know what's coming? A Digi Destiny starts today. Let me hear you say.
Today, the kids continue to walk aimlessly in a random direction.
Looks like we're taking a break.
Well, it's not like we have some place to be.
I guess you're right. There's no reason to hurry.
I would like to point out you still don't have food or water, but hey, I'm not the leader of the Digi-Destined.
Check out Izzy. I bet he's trying to email the aliens.
Maybe he's asking them to beam him up.
Tai, you are a douche.
Still crashed and the warranty's expired.
Hey, Izzy, I know how to get it to boot up. You just gotta give it a couple of subtle adjustments.
Are your brain cells malfunctioning?
I'm not sure most companies provide warranty in the Digiworld anyway. Also, Tai, Jesus Christ, you're a douche!
Gosh, you're acting like I'm hurting the dumb thing.
Tai notices smoke in the distance. Now, remember what I said about that weird style of the backgrounds in the show? Do you see smoke in this picture? Personally, I really need to squint to be able to see it. Tai goes to check it out while Izzy finds his computer mysteriously coming back to life. They discover the source of the smoke is a large factory. Will there be people inside? Food? Water?
Somebody's gotta be moving those belts, and people gotta eat. So is there a cafeteria in this place? Because we could really use a good meal.
Don't be silly. This is the Digiworld. It's an empty automated factory stuck in an endless loop of putting useless things together and pulling them apart again. The kids split up. Wait, did they say they were splitting up? No? Did they say anything about splitting up in the original? Also no? Huh. Okay. The first group hears something, but we dramatically cut to the other one.
Prodigious! Now a battery like that could run my computer forever.
Prodigious. You cannot say this word unironically, Izzy. But yeah, they find a big battery, but we immediately cut back to the first group because... editing. The first group finds Andromon, the first ultimate level Digimon for the series, who is not doing so well. So the kids decide to help pull him out, but we need to cut back to the second group because... editing. Izzy wants to figure out a way to power his computer with this battery, but we cut back to Group 1 because seriously, these scenes are getting shorter with every single cut. Group 1 is doing its best to pull out Andromon, but it's okay. They have Tai, the leader of the Digi-Destined. Seriously though, Tai is responsible for 3 out of the 4 Digimon they had to fight so far. That requires some serious talent. Agumon whacks the robot to show what he's learned from Tai. The robot wakes up and immediately proceeds to grab Sora, and I deny ever seeing enough hentai to know where this is going. They try to fight Andromon off, and Tai actually has a good idea.
Agumon, how about trying to blast the roof?
Huh. We cut to Group 3 now, as they split up from Izzy. As they look at the assembly line, and never mind, we cut back to Izzy, who finally stopped petting the battery and found a way... in. Inside is a hodgepodge of gibberish which Izzy calls binary annotations. Which they clearly aren't, since a binary system has only 2 base variables, 1 and 0, while here we clearly have a crap ton more. Nerd! Shut up, Homer. Izzy does a tie and shuts down the power for the factory. Group 1 finds out Andromon is catching up to them, and never mind, cut back to Izzy. Izzy conveniently has metallic paint and manages to turn the power back on. Now we cut back for like 2 lines to Group 3 and back to Izzy again. Seriously, I'm starting to get dizzy from all these cuts. Izzy taps away at his computer without even looking to try and decode the program like a true 90s hacker.
If I can decode this particular program, then I can trace its base functions and figure a way out of here.
And we cut back to Group 1 running away for Andromon. But don't mind that, because meanwhile Izzy and Tentomon are having a philosophical debate about whether puzzles are better than people when Tentomon pulls this on us.
What are you theorizing about? What's the big mystery? I am who I am. I'm not hiding anything.
Really?
I simply can't understand this preoccupation with who you are. Is there some kind of deep, dark secret in your origins?
Wow, could you be any more on the nose about it? So yeah, they don't say it openly, but Izzy's actually adopted. Of course, we don't have time to dwell on that because Izzy's computer starts going crazy and his digi-device lights up. Not before we get another cut for a completely pointless scene with Group 3 using the exact same shots as before, lasting literally less than 10 seconds. Izzy loads up a projection of the entire island they're on, but more importantly, he's about to abandon his alien theory when the program he was running for some reason starts boiling Tentomon from the inside out, so he turns it off. Meanwhile, Tai is again actually doing useful stuff. Maybe I shouldn't judge him so harshly, and we cut back to Group 3 who have no clue what's going on, but Izzy comes back to drop the real info on us.
Even more incredible, in Digiworld, basic data and simple information are a living, viable substance. It's alive!
But of course we don't have much time to dwell on that, since Andromon bursts through the floor in dramatic fashion and fires his catfish missiles.
Missiles to position! And fire!
TK of course doesn't move away cause he's fucking 7 and needs to be rescued by Garurumon. The missiles turn out to be way more badass than they first seem, with freaking Gatling guns in their mouths. Agumon digivolves too, but Andromon wipes the floor with them and sends both of them to Suplex City. Did I do it right? Is it actually a suplex this time? Izzy literally hacks Tentomon into digivolving into Kabuterimon, but it seems to still not be enough. Izzy then notices something wrong with Andromon's leg and correctly theorizes its importance somehow, telling Kabuterimon to target it and winning the day.
I can't answer your questions about how this place came to be or what it's for, but I can be of some help.
How convenient.
I hope you find your way home, and no matter what, try to remember the big guy that turned out to be not so bad.
Bitch, you can't try to sell me this don't judge people by their appearance when you literally tried to murder them 2 minutes ago. Also, why are they leaving through the sewer and not back where they came from?
There's one thing you can count on. We'll never forget you, Andromon.
I'm pretty sure you will. All the way until the Spiral Mountain arc and Machinedromon's place. I think. It's been a while since I watched this. The episode is somehow still not over though, as we still need to see Izzy's attempt to hack Patamon into digivolving and Tai and Agumon showing that they haven't learned a single thing from this episode.
Sorry guys, but a computer is not a toy.
Now that you boys have holes in your head, maybe your brains will get enough oxygen.
I have mixed feelings about this episode. On the one hand, the kids finally start getting some answers as to the nature of the world they're in, and Izzy is prompted by Tentomon to start confronting his social awkwardness and sense that he doesn't belong. Even if it was rather poorly dubbed, as in the original, Tentomon did not blandly ask him if he had a dark secret to his origin, and instead just said he isn't interested in finding out who he is, and asked Izzy if he does have that interest in finding out about himself, prompting the flashback. On the other hand, we have a crap ton of padding scenes that contributed absolutely nothing, mainly Group 3 looking through the factory, and the editing in this episode. Wow, it was all over the place. Quick cuts between different storylines are typically used to build tension, leaving on mini cliffhangers with every cut. Here it's like, look, they're being attacked, but let's switch to a boring scene of a bunch of kids looking at a strange assembly line for 20 seconds. Absolutely nothing would have changed if they had first shown, say, Izzy's group going through the factory and finding the battery, and then the entire initial encounter with Andromon in one continuous scene. Cut to Izzy inside the battery turning off the power, cut to the kids trying to run away in the dark, cut to Izzy's hacking scene, and completely drop all those pointless repeat shots of Group 3. I don't even understand what was the point of them splitting up. Izzy needed to be alone to highlight his social awkwardness, and preference to be alone, but Group 3 waltzing around the factory?
Boy, that's productive. This thing puts the pieces together, and then it takes them apart.
Standing around the factory literally did nothing, taught them nothing, and didn't contribute anything to the episode except padding the runtime with 1.5 minutes. Was the budget really that tight?
This place would be a lot more interesting if there was a tour guide to explain it. Ooh, maybe with a little plaid outfit and a bullhorn?
Another positive note is that Izzy is so far the only kid to actually contribute to the battle of his Digimon. Usually, the moment the Digimon digivolves, the kid is basically relegated to giving moral support, but Izzy actually uses his brain and observation to help them win a battle that they might have not been able to win otherwise. Also, he's the only kid to literally hack his Digimon into digivolving. That's freaking awesome. Now, since this is an Izzy episode, I'd like to talk about how he was changed from the original version. In the original, Izzy was a lot more awkward, a lot more reserved, a lot more polite, and very shy. When he lay there in the trolley thinking about aliens, he was originally thinking how the next day would also be arduous since he had to be around everyone since he isn't used to these social situations. He was also using considerably less nerdy terms.
Prodigious!
In the dub, they turned his nerdiness up to 11 and played down the social awkwardness, which really feels to me like they took an entire part of his character, which could give him more depth and be part of his character arc through the series, and threw it in the dumpster. Though this remains to be seen. There weren't a lot of major changes in this episode, other than the ones already discussed, but a couple of more were the battery in Izzy's laptop being completely empty, not just requiring a recharge, which makes the laptop working in the original a lot weirder. And the part where Andromon tries to squeeze in a life lesson for the kids at home, that was added by the dub. Tentomon's name does not come from any onomatopoeias. It comes from the Japanese name for ladybug, or Tentomushi. Likewise, Kabuterumon's name comes from the Japanese rhino beetle, or Kabutomushi.
Nippon kabutomushi. 体長70ミリ。日本出身。
Yeah, if it wasn't clear yet, Mushi means bug. Andromon is an android. Duh. Though actually he isn't, as it's clear that there's some organic parts involved, making him a cyborg. Or maybe he is an android because he's technically all digital. Well, that was episode 5. A step up in terms of characters, a step down in terms of editing. But will Izzy hack them back to reality?
Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity.
Will they finally start stocking food and water? Will we be seeing a lot of Mimi next episode? Yes, we will. Find out next time on Nightwize's digital journey.
Digivolution is up and running. Did you see? Did you hear? Did you know what's coming? A Digi Destiny starts today. Let me hear you say.
Prodigious!